Here are the video solutions for NSE Functional Skills Maths Level 1. This is Section B, which is the calculator section, and this is February 2020. So let's take a look at the first question. Okay, so we want to calculate the range in the number of eggs per year. Now remember that the range is the biggest, take away the smallest. So all we need to do here is locate the biggest and locate the smallest and find out the difference between them. So does anything beat 280? No, so 280, that is the biggest. And what is the smallest? Anything lower than 120? No, so it's 280, take away 120, so that is 160. So the range is 160. Okay, Sadie sees these hen houses. Which hen house will be cheaper after the discount? Okay, so let's look at the Majestic. So I'll just write Madge here for Majestic. So if it's 30% discount, 30% off, then that means you pay 70% because 100 minus 30 is 70. So for the first part of the question is basically what is 70% of £605? Now to calculate 70% of an amount, you need to multiply the amount by 0.7 or 0.70. That 0 doesn't need to be there though. So I'm multiplying 605 by 0.7 and that comes to £423.50. If you don't know where the 0.7 comes from, that we call that the percentage multiplier. It is 70%, it's the decimal equivalent of 70%. It is 70 divided by 100. Okay, let's look at the next one, which is called the Classic. And what was the deal there? It was 1/3 off. Okay, so I'm just going to work out what is 1/3 of 636. Well, that is 636 divided by 3, and that is £212. So 212 is the discount. So if I subtract that from 636, I get the price of the Classic, and that comes to £424. Okay, which price is less? Well, this is slightly less than the Classic, so the answer is Majestic. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, so if she's got 22 metres of fencing and we need to build up a square, then we can work out what the side lengths are. So in other words, what is 22 metres divided by 4? Well, that comes to 5.5 metres. So what we've got here is 5.5 metres by 5.5 metres. So the area is going to be 5.5 multiplied by 5.5, which comes to 30.25 square metres. So that's the total area of the hen run. So if one hen needs 1.5 metres, well, how many 1.5 metres are there in 30.25? In other words, what is 30.25 divided by 1.5? And we'll see that the answer is 20.16 recurring. Now, obviously, we can't have a decimal number of hens, so we're going to have to either round that down or round it up. Well, we can't round it up to 21 because that would be too many hens for the hen run, so it's going to be rounded down. So that will be rounded down to 20 hens as a maximum. Okay, so for part D, we know that Sadie has 10 hens, and we know that if the mean per hen is more than 250, then the hens are happy and healthy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out the mean for week 1 to 6. So that's going to be 46 plus 48 plus 55 plus 43 plus 52 plus 53, and that's going to be divided by 6. And that comes to 49.5, and that is eggs per week. Okay. Now, what I want to do is work out, we want the number per year. So if this is the number per week, then I'm going to multiply that by 52. So 49.5 multiplied by 52, that is 2,574 eggs per year. And remember that as well that these are the figures for her 10 hens. So if we want per hen, then I just need to divide 2,574 by 10 to get the number of eggs per year per hen, and that comes to 257.4 eggs per hen per year. And since 257.4 is greater than 250, then that means that the hens are happy. What's the actual? Is Sadie correct? Sadie thinks her hens are happy and healthy. Is Sadie correct? Well, the answer here is yes, Sadie is correct. Okay, so for part E, we just need to write this in words now. If we're going from right to left, after every three, we can put a comma, or here they've put a space. Now we just need to remember that the first comma or the first space represents the word 1,000. So as long as we can read a 3-digit number and another 3-digit number and put the word 1,000 in between, we're okay. So on the left-hand side of that comma, we've got 750. So 750. Then the comma means, or the gap means 1,000. And the next 3-digit number is 000, so that's it, 750,000. Okay, write 53% as a fraction. Well, you need to remember that percent means out of 100. So 53% means 53 out of 100. And the only question to consider at the moment is, can this fraction be simplified? And the answer is no, because 53 is a prime number. So as a fraction, it is simply 53 over 100, 53 hundredths. Okay, so for 3a, we need to do some rounding. It says round 1.75 to the nearest whole number. So to the nearest whole number means we're interested in the digit in the tenths column, which and if it's 5 or greater, then this will round up to 2. 7 is greater than 5, so we're going to round that up to 2. So now the question is simply 3 times 2, which is, of course, 6. Chester makes this scale plan of one of the rooms. What is the actual length of the longest wall? Okay, well, I think this is the longest wall here. Let's just double check. This one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And along the top, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 1 square is 50 centimetres. We've got 9 squares, so it's 9 lots of 50 centimetres. Well, 9 5s are 45, so 9 50s are 450 centimetres. Remember, we want the answer in metres, so 1 metre is 100 centimetres. So what we need to do now is 450 divided by 100, so that is 4.5 metres. Okay, so for 3C, the first thing we need to do is just consider the wallpaper. We know that a roll of wallpaper is 0.5 metres wide and 12.1 metres long. So if it's 0.5 metres wide, then how many strips do we need to cover this 2.7 metre width? In other words, what is 2.7 divided by 0.5? And 2.7 divided by 0.5 is 5.4 strips. Now, we can't have 0.4 of a strip. Either it's a strip or it's not a strip, so it's we'll call that 6 strips. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this final strip will just be a little bit thinner than all of the others. But we've covered this whole 2.7 meters. Okay, so if we've got 6 strips and they're all 2.2 meters high, well, what is 6 multiplied by 2.2? 6 times by 2.2 meters, that is 13.2 meters. Now, annoyingly, the wallpaper is 12.1 meters long, and 12.1 is less than 13.2, so therefore we will need 2 rolls of wallpaper there. So the answer is simply 2. Okay, for this question, Chester thinks the larger tin is better value for money, so let's question that. So first of all, I'm going to turn 1.5 litres into millilitres so that it's the same unit as the smaller one. So we need to multiply by 1,000, so 1.5 multiplied by 1,000, because there are 1,000 millilitres in a litre, so that is 1,500 millilitres. So let's turn that into 1,500. Now both of these are units of 100. So what I'm going to do now is work out, well, how much is it for 100 millilitres? So the £10.15 I'm going to divide by 7. So again, I'm working out what 100 millilitres is. So if 700 is £10.15, then 100 millilitres is £10.15 divided by 7, which is £1.45, and that is per 100 millilitres. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing for the larger one, which is 2121, and this is going to be divided by 15, and that comes to 1.414 per 100 millilitres. So which one is cheaper? Well, we can see, scroll up a little bit, we can see that the larger one is cheaper. Is Chester correct? Well, the answer is yes, he is. Okay, so for this question, what we need to do, it's very difficult for me to demonstrate on screen here, but we just need to stick our protractor here so that the line of the protractor sits along this line. So your protractor should be sitting like so, and we are just reading along the outside here, so 10 degrees, 20, 30, 40, etc. And you should work out that this is an angle of 55 degrees, although in reality the mark scheme will accept anything between 53 and 57 degrees. Okay, so for part F, he buys 10% more. So what is 10% of 240? We don't need a calculator for that, hopefully. We should know that 10% is 1/10, and a tenth of 240 is 24. So therefore he buys 240 plus 24, which is 264 tiles. And he cuts 3/8 of them. So how many does he cut? Well, that is going to be 3/8 of 264. So here we're working out a fraction of a total. So what we need to do is take our total, divide it by the number on the bottom, and then multiply by the number on the top. And 264 divided by 8 times by 3 comes to 99. So the answer is 99 tiles. Okay, so for this question, what we need to do is work out, well, how many sheets are there in total? 12, 7, 1. So 12 plus 7 plus 1. 12 plus 1 is 13, plus 7 is 20. Now, of the 20, how many are medium? Well, that is 7 out of 20. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a percentage, and remember that a percentage is the fraction when it's out of 100. So to go from 20 to 100, we have multiplied by 5. So for an equivalent fraction, we need to do the same to the top. So 7 5s, 35. So that is 35%. Now I'm guessing, although I will check that we're going up in tens, so 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So the probability scale is 0 to 1, but we can also see it as 0% to 1%. We want 35%, so this is 0, 10, 20, 30, and this is 40, so halfway in between, so it will be there. Okay, so question number 4. The question is simply, what is £175 increased by 25%? Okay, so we need to think about 25%. If you were to calculate 25% of a total, you would multiply the total by 0.25. This here is our multiplier for 25%. It is the decimal equivalent of 25%. In other words, it's 25 divided by 100. So this is the multiplier we use to calculate 25%. Now, if we want to increase an amount by 25%, instead of multiplying by 0.25, we're going to add 1 to this number. So it's going to be our total multiplied by 1.25. So that's what we need to do here. So £175 multiplied by 1.25, and that comes to £218.75p. There we go, so 218.75. On to the next part. Okay, so which charity gets the most money? Now, the problem is we've got fractions with different numbers on the bottom, so what I think is the easiest thing to do is turn them all into percentages. So the local hospice, LH, 2/5. To turn a fraction into a percentage, it is the top divided by bottom multiplied by 100, and that comes to 40%. Save the Children, that is 1/4. Well, hopefully you just know what 1/4 is as a percentage. If not, it's top divided by bottom times by 100, so that is 25%, or I suspect most people know that a quarter is 25%, although not everybody. And age concern, let's put AC, again 7 over 20, so that is 7 divided by 20 multiplied by 100, and that is 35%. Well, what is the greatest percentage? That is the 40%, so that will be the local hospice. Okay, moving on to part C, we want the perimeter. So remember that the perimeter is all of the sides added together. So this side here is 38 metres, this side here is 18 metres. So it's simply 38 plus 18 plus 38 plus 18, or 38 plus 18, and then just double that answer. Either way, you should get exactly the same answer, which is 112 metres. So here for D, we just need to draw the lines of symmetry. Well, this is a rectangle, so it's going to have a line of symmetry vertically down the middle and also horizontally across the middle. If we fold here, then this right hand side will sit perfectly on the left hand side. Similarly, if we separately fold along this horizontal line, the bottom half will sit on top of the top half. Don't be fooled into thinking that the diagonals are lines of symmetry. They are the lines of symmetry if this is a square. But if this is a rectangle and we draw in a line of symmetry and try and fold along here, this corner here does not sit on this corner here. This corner will sit up here somewhere. So there's only two lines of symmetry, horizontally and vertically. Okay, so 6 matches in total. Each match lasts 20 minutes. So 6 matches, that's going to be 6 lots of 20, which is 120 minutes. In other words, 2 hours. And there's a 5-minute gap between each match. So if there are 6 matches, then that means there are 5 gaps. So that is 5 times by 5, which is 25 minutes. So if the last match finishes at 14:10, we have to subtract 2 hours 25 minutes from 14:10. Well, let's take away 2 hours first of all. That takes me to 12:10. So I just need to subtract 25 minutes. Now, if I, probably the easiest way to do this is, since this is 10 minutes past the hour, break this 25 down into a 10 minutes and a separate 15 minutes. So if I take away the 10 minutes, then I'm down to 12 o'clock. So now I just need to subtract 15 minutes from that. So that will take me to 11:45. So the games need to start at 11:45. Okay, so let's just go through these, and I'm going to circle the team that wins. So B has won that one, C has won that one, this is a draw, B has won here, D has won here, and C has won here. Okay, right, let's just think about Team A first of all. So 2 points for a win and 1 for a draw. So Team A have drawn 1 match, so they get 1 point. Let's do Team B, C, D. Let's have a look at Team B. So 1 win, 2 wins, and they've not drawn, so that is 2 points for a win, so that's 4 points. Team C, 1 win, 2 wins plus a draw, so that is 5 points. And Team D, just 1 win, so that is 2 points. There we go. So in first position is Team C with 5 points. Then it's Team B with 4 points. Then Team D with 2 points. And Team A with 1 point. Okay, right. So let's take a look at this question. So we know that if there are 4 teams with 6 players, 4 times by 6 is 24 players. And it's 1.2 litres of drink per player. So 24 multiplied by 1.2 litres, that comes to 28.8 litres. Now the problem here is the spectators are drinking a lot less, so the amount they drink has been put in millilitres. So let's turn that into litres. Now 1 litre is 1,000 millilitres. So if we're going from litres to millilitres, we multiply by 1,000. So if we're going in the other direction, we are dividing by 1,000. 300 divided by 1,000 is 0.3 litres. Okay, so 50 spectators, 0.3 litres each. So that's going to be 50 multiplied by 0.3, so that is 15 litres. So the total is going to be these two added together, 28.8 litres plus 15 litres is 43.8 litres needed in total. And if it's sold in 2.5 litre bottles, well, how many 2.5s go into 43.8? 43.8 litres divided by 2.5 is 17.52 bottles. Well, we can't have 17.52. 17 bottles is not enough bottles, so we're going to have to round up to 18 bottles. And there we go. And that is the end of this assessment.